Welcome to More Than a Few Words, a marketing conversation. This is your host, Lorraine Ball. And if you're like me and you've been doing Google searches lately, you've been noticing that Reddit is popping up a little bit more. And suddenly people are talking about Reddit advertising, Reddit marketing. Are we really ready for Reddit? Well, that's the question I brought to Daniel Kirk. And Daniel is a classically trained trumpet player turned entrepreneur and small business owner. He started growing and started and has grown multiple companies over the past decade and now does growth marketing at Reddit Reach. So he's the perfect person to have this conversation. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Lorraine.
It is so nice to be able to sit and chat with somebody who's a little bit further on the bleeding edge than I am for a change. So let's talk about Reddit. Why? Why all of a sudden is it starting to pop up into our view when we always kind of thought of it as this sort of niche chat area?
Yeah, I think for the past decade, it has been the most obscure corner of the internet. And now, of course, it's popping up on everyone's feed. So if you're like me, you might have been just looking at cat videos on the Reddit for the past 10 years. But now everyone is actually a Redditor because Google is serving the links at the top of page one. So if you're an SEO expert, you might be a little frustrated by this because you're probably spending a ton of money to try to get to the top position. And then suddenly the rules change and now Reddit is there. To add to that, the other LLMs are also using Reddit data to train. So it's not only Google's LLM, but ones like ChatGPT, Anthropic, things like that. So it's a huge changer in marketing right now.
Okay, so it is a huge game changer. Um, my daughter is in loves a couple of Reddit threads that she's been following forever, and she'll tell me, oh yeah, this popped up on my thread or that popped up on my thread. Full confession, I've never been really a Reddit girl. I played on other I played on other platforms. So now that Reddit's kind of a thing, how do I jump in as an opportunity to learn and then eventually as an opportunity to play?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first and foremost, just like trying AI out, I think the best advice with trying AI out is just make it a part of your daily life, even if it's just 1 minute a day, asking it for recipes, asking it for whatever questions you might have. Same with Reddit. Hop on there, make a free account. It's easy to do. It'll take you 2 seconds, and then just go join your favorite groups, whether it's marketing, whether it's cat videos, dogs, whatever it is, small business. I'm a top 1% contributor of. Whatever that thing is you're super passionate about, just join that subreddit and just start reading posts, maybe make a comment and just do it for maybe 1 minute a day, even, and then let it grow over time if it feels good.
Okay, so I join some groups, I start following some conversations. Now I want to switch gears and I want to think about this as a business because there's also some conversations about Reddit advertising. What's up
Yeah,
with that? How do I play?
absolutely. Yeah, there's kind of two sides of the coin on Reddit. So, of course, you can do organic Reddit marketing or you can do Reddit advertising. Reddit advertising is some of the cheapest advertising on the internet right now. Now, it's up to the people to make it effective and run good ads, but it does deliver a good bang for your buck. And then on the organic side of things, just being involved in the comments and posts is a totally free way to do Reddit marketing as well.
It kind of sounds like exactly the same advice we were giving people when Twitter started and when LinkedIn started and Facebook, and you did it organically, and then you started to look at it from an advertising and marketing perspective. I want to get my content to start showing up in some of the LLMs. So, what kind of advice would you have for a startup that's like, "Hey, I was doing really good with SEO. I was getting some good organic lift on my blog, on my posts on these different platforms, and now all of a sudden it's Reddit, Reddit, Reddit. How do I take that good content that people were responding to and get it into Reddit so it gets noticed by not just people, but by the LLMs?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, as any good marketer does, it's good to take a baseline. What do things look like today to measure? So I personally use a tool called Peekaboo, and I'm sure we'll put that in the notes. But you just type in the URL to your website, and it runs a free report and shows you the top 5 LLM results for your website as compared to your competitors. So it not only shows what traffic they're sending, if any, but it also shows ranking for what key phrases people are typing into the LLMs. So that's a great place to get that baseline. Now, from there, we can actually see those key phrases that people are searching for. And this is just like SEMrush or Ahrefs, but for generative engine optimization, GEO. So same thing, just a different kind of channel. From there, we can kind of look at those key phrases and understand what people are searching for, and then go into Reddit and look for those conversations. And that's where you can be a part of those and then hopefully get ranked better in the LLMs.
Okay, so you start with the keywords, the phrases, you figure out what the LLMs are looking for, but then you go to Reddit and you can search specifically for those conversations. That's a great strategy. And when I'm posting on Reddit, because again, I'm a Reddit novice, and um, do I just post a comment? Is it okay to put a link to a relevant article? Is it okay to share a photo or a video? What's kind of the etiquette of Reddit?
Etiquette is the toughest part of Reddit. And what makes it even weirder is that each subreddit is a nation state unto its own and has its own rules and moderators, which act like kings sometimes. So, first and foremost, when you join those subreddits, whatever groups you're joining into, read the rules and abide by them. I am not a spammy Reddit person. I am trying to make Reddit better. I'm trying to make it more human. So, read the rules, abide by them. And then from there, yeah, if you can share links, do so. And if you want to, if you can share photos, do so. Look at what other people are doing that's not getting taken down and kind of follow their lead. I personally always like to start with just doing text and kind of ease into it that way, to kind of test the waters, make sure you don't step on any landmines, and then kind of go from there.
Okay, no, that's a really good tip, and it's really unlike some of the other social media platforms. They really have put the rules out there, and it's interesting that it's different by subreddit, but in a way that makes a lot of sense because it's the personality of that conversation.
Yep, totally true. Yeah, just that's one of my favorite parts. You have all these fans of niche communities and things like that all in the same place, and they make their own rules. I find that incredibly cool.
Yes, and that actually even forces me as a marketer to be more personalized and more individualized. Even if I have the same thing I want to talk about, I can't necessarily deliver it the same way if I'm involved in two or three different subreddits that are relevant for me.
Yeah, totally true. I think the best marketing is making us more human and more thoughtful, not the other way around.
Awesome. Okay, one last tip. If I was sitting in front of you and I was one of your startups and I'm like, okay, I want to play, we've talked about some of these things. What's one more thing I can do to put my toe in the water properly for Reddit?
Yeah, warming up your account is a big one. If you're starting from zero, there is such thing as karma on Reddit. It's good points for being a good Redditor. You need karma to interact, and that's so. First and foremost, get your account set up. Get karma on your account. Start commenting. Start posting in a genuine way before you start marketing your company is an absolute number one tip to get going.
And so you get karma just by commenting or thumbs up on somebody else.
Yep, by doing good things on Reddit effectively.
Nice. Well, Daniel, this has been fabulous. Thank you so much for dropping by and giving me a great introduction to uh, Reddit. I know my listeners are really going to enjoy it. There are going to be links to Daniel's LinkedIn profile and his website, Reddi, REDDI, reach.com. Be sure to check it out. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
And if you've enjoyed this conversation and maybe it's left you with more questions than answers, drop me a note. You can find me in the Let's Chat link on any of my social profiles or at morethanafewwords.com. I'd love a marketing tip or even a suggestion for an upcoming episode. Let's chat. This has been another episode of More Than a Few Words. Thanks for listening.